Well, friends, I'd like to talk to you a few minutes today about evil desires. You say, Pastor John, do you have evil desires? Well, in First Peter chapter 2 and verse 11, Peter said this. He says, Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts which war against the soul. Boy, there's a mouthful in that one little verse. First of all, he's talking to us Christians. He's talking to us people that have been born again. And he says, because he said, dearly beloved, he said, I beseech you as strangers was the first word. In other words, there's something unusual about you and I once we've been born again. See, you are a spirit, and when you were born again, you received an entirely different nature. Now, he didn't just say strangers. There's something unusual or different about you and I once we've been born again. He also said as pilgrims, as strangers and pilgrims. So not only is there something unusual about us, but a pilgrim has to go into new territory, into new land, and learn how to live there, learn how to dwell there. So he's saying, listen, now that you've been born again, you need to realize something. You're in a whole new world. And so I'm going to give you the best advice I can give you. First of all, he's saying, as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts or evil desires is another way you could say that, which war against the soul. Now, our soul is the expressive part of our being. We are a spirit, but we have a soul with which we express ourselves. And so he's saying, listen, there are evil desires. Now, first of all, if you or I, as a born-again Christian, were not capable of having bad desires or evil desires or wicked temptations, then there would be no reason to give an instruction to us to abstain from those things. So this is, first of all, should be an encouragement to you, because the devil is always, he never changes the way he goes about things. He always goes around trying to pick on people. That's what he is. He's a bully. He wants to pick on you. And he wants to tell you, see, you had that evil desire. You had that wicked temptation, or perhaps you even gave in to a wicked desire or a wicked temptation. So he tries to accuse you and say, you couldn't possibly be a Christian and have a wicked, evil desire. Well, that's absolutely not the truth, because otherwise, as I said, there would be no reason to tell us to abstain from evil desires, which are going to mess up our soul. A war against our soul. In other words, it's saying, yes, you and I are going to experience evil desires, but don't give in to those temptations, because when you give in to those temptations, it has a negative impact on your personality. The way that you are able to express yourself is marred and diminished, just like when you see these terrible pictures of war that's going on and how it just tears up the landscape. What it's saying is, yes, you're going to have evil desires, but I'm telling you, you don't have to give in to them. You can resist them. And I'm telling you, you can totally abstain from them, but it's not going to be easy. And don't be surprised or shocked when you experience them. You know, the Apostle Paul himself, who wrote 3/4 of the New Testament approximately, actually said this. He said, I beat my body and make it my slave. You know, in other words, he had to suppress evil desires himself. Now, if the person who had experienced all of those miraculous things and had such tremendous results still had to deal with evil desires, don't be surprised or shocked when you do. But we're going to continue to talk about this more in the future. God bless you. Have a great week.